Hi everyone, this is Deb Tim, a Canadian girl, and I'm coming to you from my little fish room. You are looking at my 2-week-old fry. They are a mix of Aratus and Dragonbloods. So, my fry have ick. Yes, I'm so upset. See if I can find one that has ick that you can see. I mean, it's crazy that it could even fit on these little buggers. Sorry, shouldn't say that. But I'm just so frustrated. It's hard to see. But anyway, they have ick. So I'm going to talk to you about ick. I've never dealt with ick before. So I've read what I could find up on it and prepared myself. So this is my first experience with it. And it is not nice. So ick apparently is a parasite that will attach itself to your fish. It has 3 life stages. The first stage, it floats around looking for a host, which is your fish. Then it crawls underneath the mucus coating on your fish and survives by consuming the fluids in your fish. Causing your fish to weaken, and also as it grows it becomes visible and it looks like little bits of salt stuck on your fish, on their heads, on their tails, on their fins and scales, and if it's left untreated it can be fatal. So it's important as soon as you see a speck to start treatment. So anyway, as I said, there are 3 life stages. So after the 3rd or 4th day of the spots start to fall off, and then they start looking for somewhere to land and attach themselves, like a rock, substrate, shells, plant leaves, wherever it can make a comfy home to start making more eggs. And each time the cycle repeats itself, they multiply dramatically. But when they fall off and they are invisible again, that's when they're most susceptible to medications. Now mine being fry, I'm not using medication. What I did was I bumped up my heat to 85 degrees. I usually keep my fry at 80, and over a 24-hour period, I increased the heat. Oh, there's one. Do you see all those little icky spots on them? Right in front of the rock. Oh, poor guy. Anyway, sorry. I bumped up the heat to 85 degrees over a 24-hour period. I also added salt. I double dosed the salt for a 20-gallon tank that they're in. It sounds like a lot, but believe me, it's necessary. I also added some extra surface agitation, because as we know, most illnesses are accompanied with lack of oxygen, so I want to make sure that that's not going to make them even weaker. So now it's just a matter of watching my water parameters and making sure my nitrate, that they don't spike. Otherwise, I will not do a water change for 10 days. I will monitor my tank, monitor my fish, and leave them in this and allow the heat of the water and the density of the salt to take care of the ick. And if I do that, that should eradicate the ick within the 10 days. If you stop at 7 days or less because you don't see any ick anymore, it could be that they're just in the invisible stage. So don't risk it. Go the full 10 days. And then once you've completed the 10-day process, you will need to start doing water changes. And I mean 50% water changes daily until the salinity of your water reaches a normal level. But I'm not there yet. So a couple other points I'd like to make is on how to avoid bringing ick home. When you're shopping for fish, double check the tank, triple check the tank, look at all the fish within the tank. If they're weak, if they're sluggish, if they are sickly looking, if they're thin, if they're lethargic, past the tank. Even if you see a beautiful fish in there that you really want, let it go. It's not worth the agony or the risk. Another thing is, when you bring your fish home, if you can, quarantine them anywhere from 7 to 21 days. But I know a lot of you don't have extra tanks to use as quarantine tanks. So once you acclimate your fish by letting his bag float around in your aquarium, remove the bag, open the bag over a pail with a net set across it so you can catch the fish as you pour the water out. Then put the net, or take the net and put the fish in your aquarium without the water. Leave the water behind. Also, if you're buying plants, stick to fish-free plant tanks, unless you know your source really well and know that they're going to stand behind their product. And I think that's all I was thinking. But this is not a fun thing to go through. But there is one consolation. If your fish has been infected by ick and recovered, it has built immunities, and the chances of it having ick ever again are slim to none. So that's the only good point I can see in this whole mess. So anyway, this is Deb Tim and her icky little fish in her fish room. Wishing you all a great day. If you guys have any suggestions or any input you can give me on, you know, if I'm doing something wrong or missing something, I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, this is Deb Tim signing off. Have a great day, and thank you for watching.